At the risk of overdoing myself, Your Excellency, together with the Prime Minister, I just felt it would be important to register that part of the feeling on the part of members. I know we'll listen to a presentation. Then during the open mic session, after we have listened to the Prime Minister, the Deputy President, and to you, we'll have a chance also to speak and share our challenges as members of Parliament on how we can move the country better together. Thank you, Linda. Your Excellency, as you have clearly heard, Senator Aaron Cheruiyot has earned himself a two-term as a leader of majority in the Senate. Allow me to now welcome my partner and colleague, the Honorable Junet Mohammed.
Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri wa Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, my party leader, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Kithure Kindiki, my colleagues, Amjambo, good morning. I find myself in a very unfamiliar territory today of address ODM PG, but now I can see faces here that we only meet on the floor of the house and we discuss things depending on where I see things from. But now it looks like the world has moved very fast, like the AI, and now we are seated here discussing parliamentary. Your Excellency, first I want to thank you and my party leader for standing up to the occasion and looking at the bigger interest and the bigger agenda of the country. Your Excellency, you know, in mature democracies where we normally borrow from, in the US where we borrowed this system of governance of the presidential system, bipartisan engagement is what drives that country. People, when they have national agenda, they come together irrespective of which party you belong to. But here in Kenya, bipartisan means that it's something that's unacceptable. We are here together as parties to discuss the national interest of the country. We are here as parties to discuss what is important for the country and the people of Kenya. Parliament, Your Excellency, the Constitution says, discusses matters of concern to the people. The parliamentary group today also is discussing matters of concern to the people. So, Your Excellency, we will not hesitate if we are called upon to engage, to discuss issues of national concern to the people. Your Excellency, you know my party is a very big party, and it's called ODM. You remember you formed it with my party leader, and you left us, but now we are seated together after some time. Your Excellency, parties are very important institutions in our country. You know, communities can come together, people can come together, but what will drive the political agenda of the country are political parties. So in my view, we must have robust, strong parties in our country, because, Your Excellency, you can see even within ODM today, if you look at them, there are big communities in ODM from different parts of the country. But I'm their leader, irrespective of people saying my community is not big, even though the numbers have never been taken seriously. But also where I represent, combined where I came from, when you put them together, then I became the leader of the minority. So those are how parties can work in our country, Your Excellency. So we want a strong UDA party. We want an ODM strong party so that they can help in governing the country in the correct manner that we all desire. Your Excellency, you have agreed with my party leader on certain issues, the MOUs about the 10-point agenda, compensation of the victims, and other things. Your Excellency, I don't see any reason why anybody in this country will oppose those kind of proposals. Because if you look at the 10-point agenda, There is nothing personal to my party leader and personal to you, Your Excellency. It is things that are of concern to the people. And that's why we're here today. Coming back to Parliament, Your Excellency, there are certain pronouncements you have made about the Parliament. Me, I assumed you are talking about lobbying. Your Excellency, lobbying is different from the one you say. Lobbying, it happens all over the world. I thought you were saying people should reduce lobbying. But you know the people who are lobbying are from outside Parliament. They are not inside. They come here, they hover around the corridors of Parliament. It's an internationally accepted standard of parliamentary work, Your Excellency. Lobbying. This other one you have talked about is alien to us. I have never seen that one in my I have never seen. Then there are other contentious issues that has been pronounced also by my party leader that I don't know what to do about them, because you know, Your Excellency, in ODM, what my party leader says is law. So I'm really struggling. You know, it's like the Vatican. When the Pope has announced something in the Vatican, you just have to summon the members and tell them, this is what the Pope has said, and this is the sermon for today. I'm really struggling. Maybe under the broad base, we shall find a way to discuss those issues. With those few remarks, thank you, Mr. Your Excellency. We'll come back to you.
Let us give Honorable Junet a hand of applause. Your Excellency, those are the leaders in the House. Allow me, honorable members and Your Excellencies, to also kindly recognize the presence, not just of the parties that were mentioned. Jubilee, we have the party leader Jubilee, Honorable Sabina, in the House somewhere. Yeah, she's there. We have the Honorable Senator Roba, the leader of UDM. We have the SG of Fort Kenya with us here today. Yeah, Honorable Chikati. We have the deputy leaders in ODM, the Honorable Soti, Senator Soti. I am told Governor Simbarati is here. Oh, there he is. Those are the deputy party leaders in ODM. You will forgive me if there's anybody else I have not been able to recognize. Honorable Chieng, MDG, party leader. Nopeu, party leader, the Honorable Mpuru Aburi. And we also have Honorable Fabian. And we have independent members of parliament who are here with us. Yes, and CCM. Thank you. I don't want to mention all the Kenya Kwanza affiliate parties. Yes, and TSP party leader, Honorable Kinjuri, is here. But I know I've seen Susan. Thank you. Honorable members. Yes, Susan, Honorable Susan Ngugi is a deputy party leader, TSP. As I mentioned, we have DAPK members who are here. I can see Honorable Kakai Bisau, Honorable Dick Maungu, Honorable Buire of Waipa is also here, and all this, Your Excellencies, are working with us. Your Excellencies, yes, and Honorable Kosing is also there, party leader, KUP, not the other coup. Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Prime Minister, Your Excellency Deputy President, and honorable members, let me just make very brief remarks. I don't know if I'll earn myself a second term, Your Excellency, like Aaron and Honorable Junet have. But Your Excellency, let me first begin by thanking you two as our party leaders and in the two coalitions. First, for fostering the unity that you have fostered, not just amongst us as members of the parliamentary groups in the different coalitions, but also in fostering our national unity around the country. Your Excellency, I appreciate the remarks made recently by His Excellency, the Prime Minister, on the need for those who are not in this broad-based government to give us space and an opportunity to work. And Your Excellency, in that call for unity, we have seen, as Honorable Juneta said, and Honorable Aaron Cheruiyot, a lot of synergies, not just in the two houses, I believe, in both the Senate and the National Assembly, but a lot of synergy even within the executive with coming into government of many of our colleagues from ODM. And we particularly note the efforts of the Honorable John Mbadi, who is here, and I don't say it because a former member of parliament, but he has him and the Honorable Denduale and others who came from parliament have really worked very well with these members, not just to foster unity amongst us, but also to advance the government agenda in the broad-based government. And we appreciate their contribution to the nation and to making our work easier. As was mentioned, Your Excellency, our work as leaders in the House has become much, much easier under the broad-based arrangements. We now do not have to fight unnecessarily over small issues, but we bring our synergies together and advance what is in the best interest of the nation. And Your Excellency, as you have always told us, the heavy agenda that we have in implementing the manifestos that we all went out to sell to the Kenyan people, which had a lot of congruence between the Azimio One Kenya Alliance and the Kenya Kwanza manifestos. There are many areas that we spoke about the same things, be it from universal health coverage to affordable housing. Your Excellency, that heavy lifting that is required for the implementation of that agenda is now easier with the broad-based government.
Acha.
accorded us in the legislative process of enacting the non-core legislative bills that we have and those that are still within the two houses. We have committed that we will continue to endeavor to have them adopted and signed into law. Your Excellencies, the 10-point agenda, as has been clearly enumerated by Dr. Agnes Zani, are not about you as a president or the prime minister. These 10 points are about the nation of Kenya. The full implementation of these 10 points are not about ODM as a political party or the Kenya Kwanza coalition parties. They are about the future of our nation. Therefore, as a parliamentary group, we want to commit Your Excellencies that we will continue to ensure that we extend the support that is needed by the Agnes Zani team and also to Professor Makau Mutua's team, because as Professor has alluded to, there will be legislative proposals that will come to the houses, as well as requests for budgetary support in the implementation of the work that these two important committees are doing. Therefore, Your Excellency, allow me to close at that point and to now, Your Excellency, before I invite the Deputy President, we know whether the fire see fire, norma see norma. We want to hear whether the Deputy President, whether when he says the fire see fire, the norma see norma, whether he can earn himself a second term as the Deputy President, as usual, depending on what he says and how he engages with this House. Honorable members, allow me to welcome the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Kithure.
Thank you. I wanted the leader of majority to delay a bit because the Prime Minister stepped out, because I wanted to take the shortest time here, having seen what my predecessors have gone through. and you know, both my predecessors are just like me from academia. So I was very worried. I wanted really to delay until the Prime Minister comes back. But I'm grateful to what Dr. Zani and team are doing. You're helping the country deal with very, very difficult issues. I am also very impressed by Professor Makau Mutua's work. It's quite a heavy topic that he's handling on behalf of the country. So my sister, Dr. Zani, and my academic senior, Professor Makau Mutua, I wish you Godspeed as you do this on behalf of all of us. Your Excellency, the President, and Your Excellency, Prime Minister, and my colleagues, let me just say two things as we wait for the Prime Minister to come back and address us. The first one is, for the last 33 years, our country has revolved around majorly two political formations. And the difference in the political strength of those two major political formations has not been very big difference. Been like that since went into multi-party politics. So that you have strong party winning, but even the opposition is fairly strong. What that means, therefore, is that our country, like all democracies, requires bipartisan consensus-built Assembly minority side, Junaid said, my distinguished mono. He said that by partnership, oh, he's back. I was just praising you, we need bipartisan efforts to heavy lift the serious national issues. You've seen them in the 10-point agenda: the fight against corruption, the fight against ethnic bias, the fight against all these vices. Without bipartisan efforts, no single side can be able to ever lift these national issues. So let us not underestimate what the leadership of the UDA through President Ruto, the leadership of ODM through His Excellency Raila Odinga has helped us to achieve as a nation. Because none of us alone would have enough political largesse to be able to even lift on some of the issues we are discussing here today. So we are in good space, and for that we must celebrate and acknowledge the visionary leadership of President William Ruto and the visionary leadership and statesmanship of our elder brother, the Honorable Raila Odinga. Going forward, those of us who are younger politicians, we should pick lessons from these two leaders, because there's a lot of excitement by many people who are in the political space, and they think leading the country or managing the country's affairs is a small issue. Some of the characters running up and down around, if they are given this nation to manage even for a day, the country will sink, because they don't have enough wisdom and enough foresight to be able to manage the complex society that is Kenya. So, Prime Minister, we appreciate your leadership, your vision, and you've been able to show us, those of us who are younger politicians, that elections and politics should not undermine the collective interest, stability, and progress of our nation. You have helped us understand that individual ambitions to become whatever we want to become should not stand between us and our country's stability, progress, and sustainability. The last point I want to make now that we have reached where we wanted to reach is that, again, just to emphasize that I am happy to see again many political parties whose leadership is here, but although the NADCO and the 10-point agenda was introduced by the two largest parties, UDA and ODM, we have other allies who have joined us from both sides. And what this means is that the country is generally and gradually forming the national consensus we are looking for. And therefore, for me, the lesson I pick, even looking at the leadership that have spoken here, Stewart Mazayo from Kilifi, Owen Baya from Kilifi, Junaid Mohammed from Migori and other places, and myself. Those who have felt that perhaps they need space to show their leadership skills, yet they feel their background, their religion, ethnicity disadvantages them ups in a large national party to realize your dream, your potential, and your skills to be tapped than other national party to realize your dream, your potential, and your skills to be tapped than otherwise. And therefore, going forward, as we form coalitions and build our respective parties, let us look towards building national parties as opposed to sectarian parties. Leader of ODM, Your Excellency Raila Odinga, please come and address us. Wapi makofi ya baba jameni? Baba ni fire si fire.
Mr. President, Deputy President, honorable members of Parliament, hamjambo tena. Hey, I think I see almost a full house. Senators and members of the National Assembly. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here this morning. See you. I want to say that I am charged, but I'm not scared. I've been a member of Parliament of this constituency for 20 years. And I used to meet with members of Parliament. I was a Prime Minister. Every Wednesday was a Prime Minister's crucial time, Parliament. I used to be harassed a lot by members of Parliament. That's why I'm not scared. But let me begin to say that none of us thought a day would come when protagonists just a year ago will get together to chart a joint way forward for this country. How did we find ourselves together, and why are we here today? One, in life of a nation, there comes a time when danger knocks on the door. It happened in the US during the Civil War that threatened to dismember the USA as we know it today. There's a region today referred to as former Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia existed as a country between 1918 and 1992. Then it fell apart into several countries, including Croatia, Montenegro, Serbia, Slovenia, Bosnia, and Macedonia. The former president of Yugoslavia, Elise General Joseph Broz Tito, used to say jokingly that I am the glue that is holding this fragile nation called Yugoslavia together. And if I depart, it may disintegrate in several small nations. And true to his prophecy, this will happen today. There's no Yugoslavia. Closer to home here next door is Somalia. 1991, we were here when Siad Barre was forced to run out to exile where he died. Look at Somalia today. So there are several examples that exist around the world. As leaders, we're supposed to scan the horizon, spot the danger, and act to subvert that danger. In 2024, last year, we understood that the dark clouds that were gathering over Kenya could have been exciting, but they could also mark the end of Kenya. We decided that it is better to have an imperfect country that is struggling to mend its ways than to have a collapsed one. We came together to create an environment in which we can discuss our issues and differences as people of one nation. As you know, and as you know here, there are countries that cannot discuss their issues at home. In my life, I've attended many meetings in London, Paris, Istanbul, Washington, name it, where African leaders are ferried to foreign capitals in their own collapsing countries to discuss issues they cannot discuss at home. We go together to spare Kenya that shame. Our object was and remains one, as one US senator called it, our country, our whole country, and nothing but our country. Having stabilized the nation, how have we performed in the intervening periods? How do we do better? How do we move forward in a way that respects the people of Kenya and that shows that we are alive to the circumstances that triggered our coming together and that we are acting on them? That is our object today. And that's why we're here today. We met and we decided that we needed to have, for the first time, a joint parliamentary group meeting. We could now discuss with our members of parliament. Because over 2 months ago, an opportunity to discuss in this very same place here with the members of the executive. They came here and actually came with the blueprint of the performance, what they had done up to that time, and what they were intended to continue doing going forward. And I was very candid with them in my discussions with them. And I told them where I thought they were not doing right and what I thought they should be doing rightly. So as always, I was very candid indeed. Today, I'm meeting the members of the legislature. As you know, we have got 3 very important institutions: the executive, legislature, the judiciary. And I'm hoping that in not very far away from today, I will have opportunity to talk to the judiciary as well. So I'm going to be very candid with you to talk to you as a former member of parliament. Yes, the leader, Imani Chungwa, referred to the constitution and told me issues like NGF and and Senate oversight of the counties is in the constitution. I want you to cite to me the section of that constitution that is referred. Because as you know, I was very involved with the constitution, making constitution of this country. And at another time, I would want to bring from a Yashpal guy who was the leader of that constitution making. And we went through very many issues. We had committees in Bomas of Kenya dealing with various segments of that constitution. The executive is one. Legislature is another one. Judiciary is another one. Devolution, another committee. Devolution was very contentious because we had very many people who did not want the devolution because of what had happened at independence. As you know, we started with a devolved system government, Majimbo. The foundation of Majimbo was actually contentious because it was ethnic-based. The colonialists and the settlers had actually instilled fear in the people that over the bigger communities, the bigger tribes at that time, the Luos and the Kikuyus, we lord it over the smaller tribes. And thus the smaller tribes need to safeguard themselves by creating regions and powers so that they can be able to be protected. That was the basis of Majimbo. And it was a very lengthy discussion at Sri Lanka's house. So Kanu accepted Majimbo in London, but with the understanding that they would change it after the independence. So after independence, Kanu actually started to frustrate Majimbo by not remitting funds to the regional governments. I want to refer you to the Hansard and the Bunge. There's a motion that was moved by the then leader of opposition at that time, Ruto of censorship of the Prime Minister, Jomo Kenyatta, because he had refused to release funds to the regional governments. You need to read that debate. Ngala moved it, it was seconded by Masini Muliro, who was the deputy leader of the opposition. And then Kanu, of course, responded. First Jaramogi, Oginga Odinga, and then Tom Mboya responded to that motion. The motion was defeated, but that debate actually is very historical. And I want to refer you to go and read what it said. Eventually, Kanu, of course, had to fold up and dissolve, and then eventually Majimbo was also dissolved through a constitutional amendment. And then what happened was what? They created a Ministry of Local Government, which was given a lot of powers. Minister of Local Government. So the Minister of Local Government became an executive minister, just like a Minister for Finance under that constitution at that time. And now they were as county councils down there, as we kept 265. But then they could not do anything without the authority in writing from the Minister of Local Government. So we had all these documents when we were there at Bomas. But then we said we wanted to give more autonomy to the counties so that service delivery could be better improved. We came up with regions at Bomas of Kenya. But there are people who really opposed devolution. The chairman of devolution in Bomas was called Dr. Odhiambo Mbai. He addressed the audience at Bomas, and by the time he finished talking, everybody said that man should be the chairman of that committee, and became the chairman of the committee. And he conducted the matter so well and so effectively that he became a marked person. What did they do to him? In broad daylight, around 11 o'clock, on Gong Road there, off Gong Road, in his residence, they sent assassins. And in presence of his children, they shot him and killed him. The assassins of Mumbai were arrested. Eventually they were released. So I just want you to know that the revolution has got very many people and very powerful people in this country today. Then after that, because you know the ODM is a product of constitution making. And one of the founding members of ODM is sitting here with you. The other one, the former president, who is a member, and got a number. We are going to have the 20 years of ODM in October, and all the 40 members are going to be invited. To come and attend. And now you see, we said that we give a clear, responsibilities. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. And the legislature is supposed to make laws that the executive uses to run the country. And the judiciary is then there to ensure that in implementation of this laws, the executive is not overreaching or violating the law of the Constitution. But then, so the work of Parliament is representation, legislation, and oversight. Very clear, it's written there in the Constitution. Parliament is not supposed to be implementing. Parliament is supposed to be oversighting. It's not oversighting. And secondly, there is only two levels of devolution. There's national and one level, county. Constituency is not an element of devolution. Devolution remains at the county. Down there at the constituency, the county government does implementation of the projects. I'm saying, correct. Down at the constituency, it's the county government. By the national government is supposed to do national projects, and we go down there. And there are functions which are clearly been assigned. Something which have been clearly been assigned to the national government. I will tell you, your legislatures, and a very famous English politician said, that I may not agree with what you have to say, but I shall not defend unto death your right to say it. So listen to me. Let me say it. And then you'll have a chance to come and respond. So I'm telling you, I know that sometimes the truth is very bitter. I was there, and we discussed with the Karue when he was moving around to bring the CDF. The CDF was brought because of circumstances that were prevailing at that time. In those days, with the centralized system of government, there were very little resources which are going down to the counties. And that's the reason why the Harambee became the major ways of mobilizing resources. Sometimes you require nearly 100 cards in your desk for Harambees here and there. Whenever the president moved around, you go around to counties, to the districts. And then we'll be addressing people. People will come up to tell them their problems. Mtukufu Rais, hapa kwetu barabara ni mbaya sana, haipitiki. Mvua ikinyesha kuna matope, barabara haipitiki. Kwa mtukufu rais, hapa kwetu shule yetu hapa juzi mvua ilinyesha na upepo kaja katoa paa, watoto sasa wanasoma chini ya mti hapa. Mtukufu rais, hapa kwetu hakuna maji. Mtukufu rais, hatuna stima na kadhalika. When he stand to respond, say, mnasema barabara ni mbaya, mnasema hospitali hakuna dawa, mnasema pepo imechukua paa ya nyumba. Mjumbe wenu anafanya nini? Yeye anapiga tu kelele kule bunge, anapiga tu kelele kwa bunge, hajali mambo ya maendeleo kwake. Kwa hiyo mimi nitatumia mtu kuja kufanya rambi, lakini leo mimi nitatoa pesa ya kujenga hiyo shule, kujenga hiyo nyumba, nitatoa pesa na kadhalika. That was the end of it. So the MP was the one who was being blamed for the failure of the national government to do certain things in their constituency. And that's the reason why we came up with the idea of CDF. At that time. Exactly that time. But then the constituency is now falls under the devolved government, which is being led by the governors. So constituency is not a devolved unit. And members of parliament themselves should not be involved in development because there's supposed to be oversight. There's supposed to be oversight. If you yourself being involved in construction roads, building of schools, building hospitals, who is going to oversight you? Who is oversighting you? So, Mr. President, I hold very clearly that these MPs know that they should not have any business in trying to implement projects in their constituency. Implementation of projects should be left to the county government. Secondly, the oversight, the national parliament oversight the national government, whether it is the National Assembly or the Senate. Oversighting of governors, the responsibility of MCAs, members of the county assembly, not the senators. It's not the responsibility of Senate to oversight. Senate wasting time of governors to come and answer questions about roads in the counties. And thirdly, the issue of extortion. The issues of extortion. The issues of extortion. Ms. Majority Leader, you talked of, you didn't talk of extortion, you talked of lobbying. Lobbying is okay. In the US, you've got lobby firms which are formed to lobby the members of the Congress. They come to lobby, they're known, they're officially registered as lobbyists. They come to lobby the members of parliament. But lobbying is a different thing from extortion. From extortion. That you are a member, every committee has got a member who is we call him welfare bunge, is giving a very, very image of parliament. That members of parliament should not be soliciting funds from religion. Because you see, listen to me. You know, the environment that we're creating here in this country is very, very hostile to investments. Foreign investors who come to the country bring their resources in the country to invest it here. And when they bring their resources, when they find there's too much bureaucracy, and there's too much extortion, they run away. Private capital is risk shy. And when, for example, somebody has come with his resources to start a project, and then you find somebody beginning to make noise that, oh, this project has already been approved. This project has not been approved. Or this project is being corruptly implemented. They run away. And delaying of the projects. And you find a situation where members of parliament inviting parastatals and so on, and even purporting to be cancelling projects that have been signed. That is the work of the executive, not the work of the legislature. So the legislature should not be competing with the executive in terms of implementation of projects. Allow the executive to implement and just correct them when they go wrong. That's the country will develop. Create a healthy environment for implementation of projects in the country. Then this country will develop. I know I'm being too honest with you people. I know that the facts, the truth sometimes is so painful, but I think it is important to say this to honorable members of parliament. Thank you very much. May I now invite my brother to come and address you.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Now, honorable members, let me join the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and all the leaders who have spoken before me to welcome all of you to this very important first ever parliamentary group meeting that brings the two major coalitions together today here in Kenya. Karibuni sana. The Right Honorable Raila Odinga has given us the context of why we are meeting here. I really would want to add not so much because he has ably contextualized why we are meeting here today. That we have a nation to look after and we have a nation to protect, and there are options that are available to us. And I think we chose to protect the nation called Kenya by our coming together. And so I want to commend both the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party, my former party, for standing up to be counted when the country needed leaders to stand up for Kenya. It may have been easy to do the opposite. It may have been popular to do the opposite. I know many people have vilified the Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party for the decision they took to stand for Kenya when there was need to do so. And let me say the following as the President of Kenya today. We have come from very far as a nation. We stand here today as a robust democracy, a nation that is making strides in our national development. And I want to speak to you candidly. I don't have a written statement because I really wanted to speak to you from my heart. Because where I stand today, a political journey as a person. And by God's grace, I have come very far. You know, out of the 5 people who have become presidents in Kenya, I am one of them. I don't take it for granted, and I don't take it lightly that God has given me an opportunity to be one of the 5 Kenyans who have had the opportunity to lead this country. And I must say this to us as leaders, that a nation, the progress, the destiny of a nation is decided by leaders. As to whether we are going to be a progressive nation or we are going to be a failed state is going to be determined by leaders, by us, the people who are sitting here. And therefore, the place of leadership is almost sacred. Nobody becomes a leader by chance or by default or by mistake. Today, you are a member of parliament or a senator or a governor or the position I hold and all the other positions that we hold because God and destiny has given us that chance. And we must think about it deeply. And so I want to ask you as leaders, the Honorable Prime Minister has given us a history of countries. I will add to that list 2 countries. Singapore and Kenya were the same countries 60 years ago. Malaysia and Kenya were the same 60 years ago. But today, we play in different leagues. They have managed to progress. And that is the place, ladies and gentlemen, we occupy today. So that you understand the importance, the sacred position you hold as a leader. Sometimes people want to ask, how do people who live in different houses, they have their own lives to pursue, but they wake up one morning on an election day and they go one after the other to 10,000, to 20,000, to 50,000 and elect you? You are not special. But it is a moment that God has given us as leaders. And therefore, we must do whatever we are doing, knowing very well that we have a heavy, almost sacred responsibility to the people we lead and to the nation of Kenya. And it is not that we don't know what we should be doing. We all know what we should be doing. It is not that we have shortage of ideas. It is not that we have shortage of what we need to do. In fact, I dare say we have some of the very best ideas. We have very good manifestos all the time. And in fact, if you look at, and I keep referring to this, if you look at the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza and the manifesto of Azimio, the difference is hardly 20, 30%, 70%. We share what we think should be fixed in Kenya. But politics somehow has taken our country hostage, that we cannot do what we all know we should do. I have said that the difficulties that I face today as a president in Kenya are self-imposed. You know, I imposed on myself all these difficulties. Implementing the new funding model, implementing SHA, implementing housing, doing all those things. If I hadn't done any of those, I would be a very popular person, and but the country would not have moved anywhere. I am confident that if Raila had become president, he would be doing what I'm doing. Yes. He would be implementing SHA. He would be implementing housing. He would be doing reform in the education. He would be doing reform in agriculture. I know that for a fact, because I have been in his school of leadership. That's the correct position. And he would be as unpopular or as he'd be having the same difficulties that I have today. But these are necessary for Kenya to change. Friends, we cannot change the country otherwise. And that is why he has the courage to stand here and tell you, let us stop the extortion. Yes. Very few leaders can stand here and tell you to stop the extortion that's going on in Parliament. I'm telling you the truth. Very few leaders. Because we like making peace with mediocrity. Or and trying to explain things that we shouldn't be explaining. Now let me ask you, friends. You know, we are all friends here. Yeah, we are one team, or so I guess. This fellow who is called chairman of welfare in committees, what is their job? What is their job? Extortion. That's it. And that is what the Prime Minister is saying. You know? You know, what is Sokohuru? What is Sokohuru? Tell me, what is, you know Sokohuru? So, let me tell you. No, you see, and this is the same problem that we face. This is the same problem that we face. Because, look, for example, we passed the law that we all know, friends, we all know the problems we go through with fundraisings for people who have hospital bills. All of us. In your phones, you have WhatsApp groups. So-and-so has this condition, so-and-so has this condition, contribute here, true or not true? Yes. But we don't want to fix it because it's difficult. But I must commend the members of National Assembly and Senate, because you took the courage and passed the bills that today is beginning to solve the problem of health in Kenya. It may not happen instantly, but all of you can now see that there is a possibility that we can sort out the challenge of health and health delivery in Kenya. But because we had to be bold, we had to be bold and make the necessary decisions. Today, we are dealing with the crooked hospitals and health professionals who still want to steal from SHA and to steal from our health provision. And we will go after them and we will deal with them. So, what am I saying? I am saying the following. If we have to change